I think you did an outstanding job last week.
Thank you,
just as a
Mr.
side
Moore.
note. Really good.
Thank you.
And where my wife works, the pharmaceutical reps, they brought in lunch for the office from the MVR. You know how these pharmaceutical reps are.
Nice.
And she actually had the trestle tortellini.
All right, good deal.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
deal.
she was telling me about that. I said to my wife, I was there when they invented it. I told her that. You know what I mean? It might have been my idea, Frank, don't you think?
I think so. I think we could trace it back.
Yeah, I think if we go back to its roots.
I think your idea was
All
the
right.
verb vermicelli.
The verb
sorry,
vermicelli.
I'm sorry, I don't
I kinda like
recognize
this.
the other. I don't recognize the other two voices. I
Ron.
recognize James that was here last week. I recognize Frank that was here last week.
I'm
sorry,
It's
not
your
placing
long
the
lost
other two.
brother, Mark
Ron,
DeVecchio.
Ron, you
your
don't
long
know
lost
who
brother.
I am. Say hi, guys. I'm going to put you on Instagram. Say hello.
Okay.
Here we go.
There we go.
Oh.
We're
Ron,
going- we're
I
doing
was
a little bit of
I was
Instagram
doing
in
the
here,
Lord's
Ron.
work last Thursday.
Oh,
He was doing the
Were you
Lord's
in?
work. No, he wasn't.
I was trying to settle people's problems.
I was
and
in Florida last week, Ron.
All right. First of all, welcome back, Attorney Mark
Thanks.
DeVecchio.
great to be back. Thank
What about
you.
me, Ron?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that sounds like the Kingmaker has made his triumphant return from Florida. It's the Dean himself, Attorney David Beatrice. Hi, David.
Hello, how are you?
We're doing well, and it's been an absence from you for a little bit of time here. It's good to have you back on the program.
It's good to be back on the program.
What
What
were
do
you
we
doing
want
in
to talk
Florida?
about today?
What were you doing in Florida?
I was down there handling a case. I went and saw our new Delray office, which is by Palm Beach, and so handled some stuff over there. Then Brian and I rented a car and we drove across the state to Tampa. And I may have stayed at the casino, which I don't know if that was a good idea or not.
So you have two offices now in Florida, Tampa
Actually,
and
three.
Delray?
Actually,
Where?
three: Sarasota, Tampa, and Delray.
And he has a couple easements on the curb along the way.
Yeah, because when you go down with Brian, we call it the hostage mobile. Okay, when you're with Brian and he takes a call, you're not allowed to be on your phone. You have to put your phone down. So I said, Brian, a client's calling me. Let me out. I'll sit on a curb. And so I was dealing with a client sitting on a curb. Then I called Frank. He goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm sitting on a curb. He goes, no, you're not. I go, I absolutely am. Took a picture and I sent it to him. I said, here's where I'm taking calls right now. I'm sitting on a curb.
David was Captain Phillips for like 2 days.
I was
So
Captain
really,
Phillips.
So Brian Kopp throws you out of the car when he has to take a call and you have to sit on the curb?
No. When he takes a call, you're not allowed to take a
Yeah.
call. But I had a client call me and I said, pull over. I'll sit on the curb and deal with my client. Is what I did. I sat on the curb and took care of my client.
You know, this could be dangerous if you're on the freeway. Have you ever thought about that?
I have thought about that. You know, there's a funny story about freeways. Would you like to hear about it?
I most certainly would.
So
Most
Brian-
things in your life are funny stories.
Well, this is a really funny story. So Brian and I, this had to be about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. We may have gone to the Hard Rock Casino. I'm just saying. It might have been a mistake. It's not one of my better days. And we were leaving, and Brian goes, you have to go to the bathroom. And I go, no, I'm good. And then, you know, when you're my age, Ron, and then, nature calls, you got to go. So I said, Brian, can you pull over? I got to go. I got the restroom. So he pulled over. Unbeknownst to me, I stood on a red anthill. Okay. They may have climbed up my legs and gotten in his car. So there we were at about 1 o'clock in the morning at a 7-Eleven buying some disinfectant spray. And I was bit. I mean, I could have died I had so many red ant bites on my legs. It was very dangerous.
This was at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you
Yes.
almost ruined Brian Kopp's car.
No, I did. I brought the ants into his brand new car.
He did ruin his car.
He was
He
a
had
little
that
upset.
bonnet.
Why does things happen to you, Dave, that doesn't happen to any normal person?
I don't know.
Because he's not normal.
Because he's
right?
exactly he's not normal.
Because my first name is Abby and my last name is Normal. I'm Abby Normal. Okay.
I mean, it's just, the strangest stuff. What are the odds that you would get out to take a leak and you stand on a red anthill in Florida?
What are the odds? And all I know is, as I'm there, I'm going, ouch, what's going on? I got in the car and Brian goes, dude, look at all these red ants you brought into my car. He was so mad at me. Oh my God. I thought he was going to throw me out of his car.
Were you ever concerned, Florida has snakes. Were you ever concerned when you went into some area at night that a
No,
snake
we just
could be
pulled
there?
over. I mean, he just pulled over. It was like one of those emergency 64-year-old men stop. Okay.
Mhm.
And I had to take care of myself. And I actually, unbeknownst to me, I stood on a red anthill and they may have attacked me.
Hang on, making note. Never ride with Beatrice. Okay, just making a.
Ron, could you
uh,
imagine if an alligator got him?
It's
They
gonna
would
be
die.
next.
Well, no,
Yeah.
yeah, but I
They
wouldn't
would
want
die.
to, like if he was like Chubbs on Happy Gilmore,
Yeah.
they got his hand. So
Yeah.
Beatrice-
What did you say?
Nothing
Hey
surprises me with
Chubbs, hey
Beatrice.
Chubbs, he got your hand. I got his head.
Yeah, Beatrice came back to the radio show with like one arm.
Oh, that was. I don't think Brian's ever been more angry with me than that day. He had just bought the car, I want to say the day before, and there were red ants everywhere in his new car. He was really upset with
See, I
me.
can't understand why he would be so upset.
Well, he was. I am who I am. I can't help it.
It is really so. Incidentally, congratulations! 3 offices in Florida. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of folks from our area that go down to Florida,
Right.
and now that you would actually see Beatrice Cop in FLA.
Beatrice Cop is in FLA, and I plan to go back down there. Ron, here's the thing I've learned about living in Ohio. You ready?
Yes.
If someone says, "What's it like outside?" before you even get out of bed, before you even look out your window, if you say gray, you're got about a 65 to 70% chance of being correct. What's the weather like? It's gray. It might not be snowing, it might not be raining, but 65% of the time, if you say it's gray, you're accurate. Like today, gray. You go down to
Right.
Florida, what's it like? Sunshine.
It's called the
So, what do you
Sunshine State.
prefer?
Well, Ron, where am I right now? I am sitting in Canfield, Ohio in gray weather.
But didn't you say on a previous show, get a load of this, guys? I got some attorney Dave Beatrice Kingmaker trivia for you. Dave, all his life, has lived within 5 miles of where he was born, or
Yeah.
something like that.
And I got famous at one
What?
time, Ron. I put a video up on TikTok. Listen to this, Ron. Listen to this journey, Ron.
And you're a TikTok phenomenon.
no,
right?
He's
they-
an influencer.
They
Yeah.
banned me.
What?
TikTok shut down my account. They shut
What?
me. Yeah.
What?
Yep, they did.
Why?
I didn't read the community standards, and so I kind of.
Shocker.
I know.
Aren't you a lawyer?
I-
I swear I thought you were a lawyer.
Look, here's the thing about social media and everything. Like, I'm older now. Okay. So, Ron, you're older like me. Like, when we were younger,
Yeah.
we would know like 20 numbers off the top of our head. You say, hey, what's your
Yeah.
friend's number? Now it's passwords. And it's mind blowing to me. I can't remember passwords. Like, I have to write them
Right.
down. And then if
Right.
you put one character in wrong or you put a space in, and then, you can't, we'll email you another link and it's only good for 9 seconds and you're trying to push it in there. And I hate it all, Ron. I just got to be honest with you. I absolutely hate all this technology. It's just
Well,
getting
why
too
did you
much.
get banned? What did you do?
He said gun.
They said gun, murder. They said I was promoting violence. I really wasn't. I was saying that if this guy did it, it's not okay. I mean, it's not okay to go around and kill people because you don't like the system. That's not how you resolve problems in America.
And that got you banned?
I guess. I don't know. I lost 193,000 followers, but I'm building it back brick by brick. I got 17,000 of them back so far.
Tell Ron what you have to call a gun on TikTok.
Pew pew.
Oh, what?
Pew pew.
What?
Pew
What?
pew.
A pew pew.
Pew, pew.
That would be more appropriate for something else. Pew pew.
Yeah,
Pew pew.
right.
Yeah.
You can't say murder. You got to say off. So when
Jeez.
Luigi pew pewed and offed the CEO of United Healthcare, it was not something.
This is stupid.
It's
Yeah.
stupid.
We've talked about this.
We've
Ron.
talked about.
But David
this,
does
Ron.
have
It's
a cult-like
stupid.
following.
I do have a cult like
What are
following.
they called?
They call me the
What-
Law Father. They call me their favorite boomer. They call me Grandpa.
Lawfather.
Call me
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
David Koresh had a lot of followers too, David.
Thank you for that, Jimmy Melfi, David Koresh.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that-
going to do. I'm going to get into a standoff with the BATF and the FBI, and then I'm going to have the SWAT team from the FBI bring a tank in, pour gas into my house, and blow it up. That's what I want in my life.
Who was the guy down in the jungle with the
the Jones, wasn't it?
Jones? Jim
Oh,
Jones.
Jim
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the
Well, that's
Kool-Aid.
Brian.
The Kool-Aid.
Brian. Oh, Brian, get us drink Kool-Aid.
You know what's interesting?
Brian,
though? Think
no,
about-
Brian. But the difference between Brian and Jim Jones ain't much difference there. Just being honest. I'm calling a spade a spade. I'm sorry.
I mean,
You're not
folks,
allowed to
can
say
you,
that.
Can you believe what you've heard? So they're in a car in Florida, and Brian Kopp takes a call, and Beatrice has to get out of the car,
Right.
sit on the curb
Uh-huh.
to take his call.
Right.
He won't allow him to speak on his phone
Nope.
in his car
Nope.
when he's on a call. And he
Absolutely
makes you
not.
get
It's-
out.
We call it the hostage mobile.
This is unreal to me.
Well,
mean,
it's
the-
my life. You should try to live my life.
mean,
Live
it's
it.
just-
Live. Walk a mile in my shoes, Ron, and feel
What were
my
you going
pain.
to say to our listeners that you lived within 5 miles of your house all your life?
When my mother brought me home in this October, it will be 66 years. I have not lived 5 miles from where I was brought home as a child. A lot of people would say that's boring. I look at it as a badge of honor. I love where I live. I love the Mahoning Valley, and I never plan to leave here. I love it. Born here, raised here, practiced law here, and I'm 65. I'm on the downslide,
You're in
and
the
I'll
fourth
probably die here.
You're in the fourth quarter.
I'm in for. I'm not. I'm. Ron and I are next up in the batter's box. I don't care what Ron says. Like we're like in the bullpen. They're like, hey, you're up in the batter's
You're
box.
playing the back nine.
We're
Yeah.
down.
You
No,
know,
back
if
If you're in the
six.
bullpen,
He's
you're
in
not going
sudden
to the
death.
batter's box.
Well,
It is really, I hate to say this, but I am in total agreement with David because I look around and I thought, all these people that I work with have died. And I'm looking around, I'm saying, I used to sit here. Dan Ryan was right there. Pete Gabriel was right there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember John Nagy was right there.
Yep.
Tom Holden was over there.
Oh,
Don
yeah.
Guthrie was over
Bye
there.
bye. Bye
And I'm
bye.
looking around, and I'm thinking to
Bye-bye.
myself,
Bye bye bye.
there's no one in the front of the line. Yeah.
No, we're.
Except, wait, I
listen
don't
to
see
me.
any. Yeah.
Listen to me, Ron. Listen to me very closely. You ready?
Yeah, I am.
Father Time is undefeated against Homo sapiens.
Yeah.
When you think
It
about
is eye opening.
And at
Yeah,
this point
yeah.
in my life, you know what, Ron? It's liberating. Honest to God. People want to talk about me and they go, doesn't that bother you? And I go, nah, as long as they're saying my name correctly and spelling it correctly, I don't care. Like, say what you want. I've done it all, been it all. I've raised 3 great children. They're educated and they're on good footing. Homes paid for. This office is paid for. I got great lawyers behind me. Someone wants to kill me?
Mhm.
Have at it.
Oh, God, no.
Well, boom, boom,
Right,
pew, pew
right.
me.
Pew, pew.
And
Pew,
you-
pew, off
and you
me.
forgot-
Someone wants to off me.
You,
Frank.
you forgot a loving, supporting wife that waits on you hand and foot.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
too.
what more
I
could
got
a
that
man
going
want?
for me also.
Right,
I
So
have
I
it
think
all.
you got a lot
There's
going for you.
nothing else in life I could want.
right. Except maybe to stay
Except,
in the
I'm
car
gonna have to
when
fight
Brian
my
Kopp is
family.
driving.
I'm gonna have to fight my family because when I go, I really want to be cremated and my ashes put in the Great Lakes. Honest to God, they'd never do that
Really?
for me. Yeah,
They never do that.
they'd
for
never
me.
do that for me.
Well, why not?
They want to put me in the dirt. They want to make sure I'm dead and buried.
What about
Well,
on the
if they-
mantle?
No, my dogs are on the mantle. Okay, I can't. I'm not going to go on the mantle with my dogs.
What you're not.
Really? I mean, so
I'm
yeah.
just saying,
So
you've not
you want to be spread in the Great Lakes.
what?
Ma- Yeah. I mean, I'm
You're with
well.
the Edmonds
you know what?
Fitzgerald.
No, I got a replacement dinghy. Jimmy's supposed to be
Oh, you
settling my dinghy case. I don't know what's going on with
We
that.
actually have a hearing coming up. Are you
What?
gonna go in
Yeah.
person with me?
No, get me my money for my dinghy and be done with this thing.
Ron, I'm the
All right.
advisor to the
Yeah.
unadvisable.
You're going to your
Right.
hearing with me
And
for
I
a
think-
speeding ticket.
I have to. Frank's representing me. I got a ticket in Sandusky.
For
Really?
How fast were you going? No, answer the question.
I don't know what was I.
Can you answer a direct question?
Fast.
It's going fast.
What's fast?
75 and a 50.
Well, what's your defense?
I wasn't.
No,
paying
come on.
attention.
Let's hear it.
You want me to lie, or you want me to
That's
tell you the truth?
That is your defense. You, the great attorney, and you are a great one. Your defense is you weren't paying
Sometimes in
attention.
life,
Why don't you
you got to
exercise
be
your
like
right
a
to
mule
remain
in a
silent?
hailstorm and just sit there and
Frank,
take it.
Yeah.
Frank, what are you going to do with this case other than plead him guilty?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
I
let
mean,
him
really,
go up,
what-
let it go up in front of the judge and let him smile and say, "Hey, I'm Dave," and blah blah blah. And see what happens.
Yeah. You can't
And
even
Bob-
go.
What do
blah.
you do?
And then pew pew.
There isn't a defense.
No.
He doesn't have a defense.
Thank God
He's
they
done.
don't have any video footage of it because Lord only knows what you'd see.
Oh,
there.
I was very kind to the police.
I don't
officer.
mean that. I know you're kind of the policeman, but
I
I would
never
just love
give a
to see
police
the
officer a
interaction.
hard time. Listen, I respect police officers. They have a hard job. When they're coming up on you, they don't know if it's Dave Beatrice or.
But you can't just pay the ticket. You got to go to court, right? Because you were so far over.
Well, I'm hoping my lawyer can pull a rabbit out of his you-know-what for me.
yeah. So we
Well,
can
I hired
make
a
it a
good lawyer.
non-moving violation.
I hired a good lawyer.
The best defense is I don't want to hear him say I couldn't get him out of a reduction on my speeding ticket for the next 5 years. Please just help me out here
Oh,
and
my
max him
God.
out on the fine.
I'll take
Yeah.
a maximum
Yeah.
fine. But if Frank doesn't get me out, believe me, he will not hear the end.
Never
of it.
live it down. It's the best defense.
Oh,
It's true.
that's the best
Thank God,
motivation.
Jimmy.
He's got to hear my mouth.
Jimmy, at least you didn't pull that short straw and get that case. Thank God.
Yeah, tell me about it.
No, I
mean,
wanted a real
really,
lawyer.
I- I feel bad for Frank
Yeah.
all around. I really do. Honest to God,
Do
Frank,
we have
you got
any
a great
calls
batting
here, Ron?
average. Yeah, I'm going to get to him momentarily. Frank, you got a great batting average, and you've been winning a lot of great cases, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But this one is like a bowling ball tied around your leg,
It,
buddy.
it really
I'm sorry.
is right falling off of his.
Ron,
off
you
of
got to
his
watch
butt.
the news tonight. You might see me on the news tonight.
What criminal will
No,
you be standing?
No, time
Yeah.
out, Ron. You not might see him on the news tonight. He knows you're going to see him on
You're
the
gonna
news
see
tonight,
me
so
on the
watch
news tonight. I know how to exercise
was-
my First Amendment rights.
Yeah, you have no problem
When
doing
Dave was
that.
a young lawyer, guys, and you might not remember this, I'd be watching the news with my wife, and every criminal case, he was standing next to the criminal, and my wife would look at me and say, he's representing every criminal in the county, and he was.
And you know
Every
what,
single one of
Ron?
them.
I learned.
Yeah.
This is a true statement. I learned off the court-appointed system, and most lawyers my age get off of it, and I stay on it. Not because I need the work or because I need the money. I stay on it because I learned from those people. I learned, and the mistakes I made on those people's cases, it's like paying it forward. I stay on that list now, so someone has a shot at getting a lawyer of my caliber and having a shot at getting a good defense. And I fight hard for them because I
Well,
don't
good.
care whether you did it or not. I only care whether the government can prove it. That's all that
Right.
matters to me.
And of course, you fight hard and you get COVID as a result of it, but God
Oh,
bless
I've
you
been
for
at the
it.
jail a lot lately. I've been sick for 3 weeks straight. I got to go back down to the jail. I got a lot of clients
Great.
in jail.
You need another booster.
I'm gonna need
Yeah.
another. I got the shingles, the flu, the
What?
COVID. Yeah, I got the
Dude,
shingles.
Oh, okay,
that's with
okay.
shingles.
Listen
Yeah,
to me.
don't
that's-
play.
Tell you
Shingles is
man,
bad.
my
Listen to
mom,
me.
My mom had shingles a few years back. I mean,
It's
it was,
bad.
It was horrible.
Oh, it's bad,
Bad, painful.
because she had it under her eyelid.
Oh yeah, did she almost? I had a client almost went blind.
She did. She her vision got really screwed up. But
Wow.
it wasn't far after my dad passed away. I remember me and my brother sitting there, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this can't be happening." Because
It's
my
very
mom's
painful.
a tough lady.
Yeah.
I've never seen her like.
Oh no,
that
it's a
big,
painful
and that
injury.
is no
Right.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I too got the double shot shingles vaccine. As a matter of fact, Dave, it was a romantic date out with my wife one night. We went to the drugstore and we both got our shingle vaccines. It
The
was
second,
beautiful.
the
Beautiful
second
moment.
shot put me. I mean, I got a little reaction to it. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it didn't. I didn't feel too good the day afterwards. But I thought I'll put up with 1 day of aggravation rather than having all those bumps all over me. That's got to be painful to have.
They're
the
bumps
shingles.
or are they fire ants that were
Well,
stuck in your leg
listen
hair,
to me.
intertwined in
Probably
your
like-
leg hair.
These vaccines are probably crossfiring on them because
Oh,
so
yeah.
many boosters.
You know, I got.
He said so.
I've had so many vaccines. I'm a walking billboard for every debunked theory there is. Natural defense, vaccines, whatever it is, I'll get it.
And yet
Okay.
you still get sick.
What do you want me to do, Ron?
He's compromised, Ron.
Maybe,
I still come
maybe
into the
stop
office
going to the
every
jail
day.
so often.
I don't have
No,
a
but right,
choice.
just what these guys want, you to come to the office sick. What are you thinking?
Well, they're younger.
That's
They'll put
why.
up with it.
Yeah, I disinfect my couch when he sits in my office. I make sure I
and
take a
and I
Clorox
sit
wipe.
in Jimmy's office a lot, so he has to disinfect. He has Lysol over there. Do we have any calls, Ron? We can take some calls.
Yes, we'll take them
Oh.
right after the break. What do you say?
Wait,
Callers in line,
oh
stand
my
by.
gosh, we did this all.
I got a break. Yeah, I got a break. All right, we're glad he's back. He is one of a kind.
People listen to it.
He is. This is a TV show. His life. We'll be right back.
It really is.
really
American
is.
warfighters go into battle.
You know,
question for you. About a year and a half or so ago, I signed up with an elder law attorney firm down in Pittsburgh. I'm a Pennsylvania resident and had my home and some assets put in a revocable and an irrevocable trust. And one of the things I didn't like about it, there's a lot of confusing funding questions. And I ended up being on a retainer with this attorney for X amount of dollars per month. and I would like to perhaps change my relationships with that attorney and that fee each month. I'm wondering how difficult is it for another attorney to step in to decipher what has been done by another elder law attorney, and is your firm able to do that because I'm a PA resident?
Well, we have a couple of lawyers here that have their PA license, but we just don't do any elder law in the state of Pennsylvania. State of Pennsylvania, unlike Ohio, still has a state estate tax. Ohio has no state estate tax. And so I'm thinking part of your estate went into a revocable trust to shield it from the state estate tax. But the 12 million, almost $13 million now, is the break point for federal estate taxes. So unless your estate's hitting that $13 million mark and you die in Ohio, you're not going to have to pay any federal or state estate tax. And I would just try, I don't know why you're on a monthly retainer with this lawyer. Something doesn't sound right there. I would just go to the Google machine. How am I saying it, Frank?
Just get another elder law
Yeah.
attorney's opinion.
Take a look at it. Right. Okay.
Okay, I thank you for that.
Thank you for calling in.
All right. I don't know if he, guys, James, could you answer this question? Did he say he wanted an elder law attorney, or did he say he wanted to talk to the elderly attorney on here?
Either
I was
way.
I was gonna say, calling it the Google machine is a really elderly way to call it Google.
Yes.
Well, it is. That's what I call it. It's a Google machine. Like
I don't
people will
think
be sitting around going, "Hey, who won the 1976 Super Bowl?" I go, "Use your Google machine. Just put it in."
Oh,
It'll tell you."
speaking of football and the Super Bowl, Ron, ask David where he
Whatever,
finished
Jimmy.
in the football picks this year.
Behind Jimmy, he
That's
got
right.
lucky 1 week.
Oh, beautiful. Nothing makes me
Lucky
happier than
1
that.
week.
1 week.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 week changed it all. The
There you go.
producer's here. He'll tell you.
Wait,
Yeah.
so we picked college and pro all year, but it was 1 week out of all those
Yeah, it
games?
was. You
Okay.
caught me up, and I never got back up.
Left you in the dust.
You didn't leave me in the dust, Jimmy. Let's not get over our skis now, shall we?
It's like
You
when you
didn't
almost
leave me in the dust, Jimmy. The only one that was sort of left in the dust was the man sitting to my right.
don't
That's
deflect.
not true.
He was
Who
Ron.
not
He was
true.
so far behind.
was
It's
worse?
like
I'm not
toes
saying
got
any
hit.
Frank
names.
was in dead last.
I was.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Frank was
And we
dead
were
last.
all 50%. We were all in the 50s. Nobody
we're
was
all
higher
in the
than 50.
50s. No, 1 week I was 100% 1
I'm
week.
talking about for the season.
For the
We
season.
We all finished it
Everyone
above
finished
500.
We all did.
I can't believe
We
he
have any
won.
more calls, Ron?
Yes. Would you like to take some?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello, is it me?
Yes, your question, please.
Yes, sir. So I have a question. So about 15 years ago, my dad drew up a will to divide his estate and everything up amongst the family. And about 2 years after that, he paid the property off and everything, and then he decided to put the property, the house, and everything in my name. So at that point in time, am I obligated to have to divide the house and everything up with the rest of my family,
Hold up a second.
being that he
Hold up a second. Your dad took his house and he put it in your name?
Yes, and he had a life estate, draw it up to where he could stay there until he died and everything.
Okay,
Did he have a
so
will?
Go if he went into a nursing home.
no.
There's a donative intent.
But
No,
that
he-
passes
he-
outside probate.
that passes outside of probate.
Right.
He took the future interest, gave it to his son,
Right.
took a life estate, and now he's asking us, do I have to split it with my siblings? The answer is no.
No. Once the life estate
Okay.
expired, literally,
It's yours.
It's
It's
yours.
yours. But I
Okay,
don't think
so,
that's what
I
your
mean, I
father
did,
really
and now-
wanted, though, right?
No, I did. So he did pass maybe about 8 years after. And I did divide, we did divide it up, and I did pay, my family their share. I didn't screw my family out of anything. But I was just wondering, so make a long story short, they're looking to drill some for natural gas down around the property. And at that point, am I obligated then to divide that up with the rest of my family? So it's already in my name.
Well, you've already
royalties
divided
and
it up.
everything?
You've divided. Did you? When you say you divided it up, did you sell the property and retain the rights?
I think he bought them out probably.
I bought that.
No, then it's
That's
you.
yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yours.
Okay.
Yeah, you bought them
You don't
out.
know.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
You actually did the
Yeah,
abnormal
like
thing,
I
and
said, I begged them.
Yeah.
I begged them to stay in with me and
No,
be partners in
then
it.
they're
and
out.
you're out.
One
You're
day.
out, Tom.
Michael, why am I out?
Okay.
Yep, you're good, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate the answers.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Thank you. Next call. You're on the air. News Radio 570 WKBN 539. Hello. Are you there? Line 5. Caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. What's your question, please?
I have Armstrong cable for my internet and my TV, and I moved out of Canfield down to Columbiana where Armstrong doesn't go.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they're charging me $1,500 for the amount of money that's left on the lease. So they can't service me where I live now, but yet they still want to charge me for what time that's left on the contract.
Well, it starts with, did you sign a contract for a specific term? If you signed a contract for a term, you would be bound by the contract. The fact that you moved, I don't think that erases the contract. Of course, we'd have to see the contract.
Right, exactly.
Let me get this straight. You signed a contract with Armstrong Cable, sir? Is that correct?
Yes.
And
Yes.
and then you moved? Is that correct?
Yeah, I lived in Canfield.
And then you
I left Canfield and I went to Columbiana.
and
I was taking them with me, but they told me they don't service that, so I had to find another provider.
well, what kind of
I did.
contract did you
Yeah.
sign?
Was it a
I mean,
contract
I never
for
heard of it.
term?
Actually, I got a letter from Armstrong that says that we have to sign something up for telephone service. And
Like a-
now that I
Alright,
hear
well-
that, I gotta look at that
Like a
little.
contract for term, like 4 years?
I don't know. I'm
they
gonna
lock
go
you
there
in
and
at a
talk to them.
price?
Yeah, no, I want to go talk to them about
It
that.
was a 3-year term on it. There was $1,500 left between the telephone and the internet, and they want $1,582.
What are we
Because you
talking
didn't-
about?
Well, but he moved. I mean, can't you get out of the contract by saying, "But I moved"? I mean, what would happen if you died?
Well, if you died, they can't collect.
Wait,
You know, they'd
wait
have
a
to go
minute,
after
what
the
did he
state.
sign a contract?
Signed a
with them?
contract with Armstrong for cable and telephone.
For how
Telephone.
long?
They moved to
3 years.
Columbiana before the contract expired. Armstrong's
have Armstrong
charging
yet.
him $1,500 because he can't take Armstrong to Columbiana. They don't service Columbiana. So
I'd have to look at the contract.
Yeah.
He might be able to get out of some of it. You'd have to
Yeah.
look at the contract you signed. That piece of paper you signed with Armstrong, you know what that's called?
Yeah.
A contract.
What's that called?
Contract.
Contract.
And a contract is a promise or set of promises for the non-performance of which the law provides a remedy. So you'd have to see what you promised them in that contract and what they promised you and see what you can do.
Did Phil teach you that for the Florida bar?
Phil did teach me
Let me
that.
ask you this: with the fact that they can't do mine, they can't provide me a service, why do I have to pay for when I'm not being provided a service?
Because he no longer lives there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If-
well, the
you have to
contract is
look at the
probably
contract.
yeah. If it's specific to your address,
You might
and-
be able to get out of it.
yes.
You have to look at the language of that contract.
So you're telling me, caller, when you call them, they won't let you out of it?
Nope. They told me I had to pay. I said, I'll pay you $5 a month. They said, that's fine.
Well, I would get the contract and read it. Okay?
Yeah. Read it or ask if you can have a lawyer read it for a fee.
All right?
Okay.
All right.
Thank
That
you.
seems weird, doesn't it, Dave? I mean, that's-
there's always part of the story with one of these stories that we're not exactly getting the full story about.
Mhm. So you want the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey says.
Is Paul? He's gone too.
Who's Paul Harvey?
Yeah.
Ron, listen to the babes. Listen to
I
the
know.
babes over here, Ron. Isn't that beautiful? They don't know who Paul Harvey is.
Paul Harvey.
Don't I feel bad?
Good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right. You're
Oh,
on here
that's
with
so
the
bad. Look
attorneys.
your Google machine. Look up who Paul Harvey is, by the way.
Hello, caller.
Jimmy, use
Are
your
you there?
Google machine. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, your question for our attorneys. Go.
I tried texting the legal show, and the Gulf of Mexico came up. Is
Hmm.
there a team related to the Gulf of Mexico?
What's your question?
What?
Do you have anything competent to say?
Do they have balls?
All right, you're on the air. Hello.
There we go. One snuck through there, Ron.
Yeah.
One
Hello.
slip past the goalie.
Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Am I on the air?
Yes, you are.
Oh, great. I have a question. My son was pulling out of his driveway, and his neighbor parks his van right next door to him on the same side. And as my son was pulling his truck out of his drive, there was no traffic coming. Well, by the time he was halfway out in the road, there was a car speeding down that ran into him. The police officer did not cite either one of them, but the insurance company is saying, our insurance company, his insurance company is saying he's at fault because he was pulling out of the driveway, even though he was already halfway out and the car was going around the van to get.
Yeah, but
around-
Well,
go
let me
further
ask
down
you
the
a
road.
couple questions. Was he in the roadway?
He was
halfway.
he was partway in the roadway, and when they asked him what he was doing, he said he was backing up, and the insurance said, well, you said you were backing up, but he was halfway in the roadway because his truck's so large. They hit him.
Yeah, but wouldn't the other guy have the right of way attorney
Well,
because he's already on
yes.
the roadway?
Well, hold on. If you're speeding, you could potentially
It
lose
might be
your
comparative
right-of-way,
negligence.
Yeah,
But
which I've used before.
but she has insurance. Let the insurance company.
Well, that's what
do it.
she's saying though.
Yeah,
Nobody
you-
was cited, but the insurance company's siding with the guy speeding.
Well,
This, this beach
you
was
don't
sitting
have
in
you
the
don't
town.
have the right with your insurance company. If they want to pay it, that's on them.
Yeah, but then like my son's just getting out of high risk insurance, and now this is going to screw that.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I think.
you can't get
You
that
can't turn
toothpaste
on
back
the
in the
TV without seeing a commercial for a insurance company or a drug company or what's the other big one? That's basically it.
Cell phone.
Yeah.
And cell
Cell
phones,
phone.
yeah. So go shop it.
Yeah. Go somewhere else.
I don't understand why people feel wedded. I
I did. I mean, this is shopping. I have shopped, and like I finally got this insurance company who's been the lowest that we've had or that he's had, and she said it's going to even drop more.
Okay.
pretty
The
quick
problem
here,
is
and then
there's
he got in this
nothing that you can-
accident where
there's nothing
there's
you
no-
could do that
because
you
he was halfway out in the road.
they
Well,
get to make. Listen, here's what happens. Think of the insurance company like you made a bet. You said to your insurance
Mhm.
company, I bet I'm going to get in an accident. And they go, we bet you're not. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
you lost the bet and now they get to pay it. And they alone decide whether they want to pay it or
Yeah.
not. And they can make that decision without any input from you.
The fact
Because
that he
I
didn't.
told the insurance representative, I said, well, let them sue us and duke it out in court. Even if we do lose, she still has to go through the hassle. Oh, and she didn't have insurance either, which I know, but you should have insurance in Ohio. Here she's getting rewarded for speeding. And
I
hitting him in
hear-
Here's the
opposite
thing:
lane.
even if you go to court and your insurance company has a duty to defend you, there's going to be an insurance lawyer that they're going to make the call.
And if there's an allegation that they're speeding, you're going to need an accident reconstruction expert to,
How much?
to
How much?
measure
do you-
the
how much?
skid marks and
Listen
all
to
that
me.
stuff.
It's
Mhm.
not. Look. Just you don't have any control over
Hate
it.
to say it,
You
the
know what?
decision is
Yeah.
out of your hands.
And thank God nobody was hurt. Thank God nobody was hurt, and he didn't get cited. So
Well, let
try
me
to
ask
view
her-
it the positive perspective. Nobody
me
got
ask her a
hurt. He didn't get
question, Mark.
cited. Yes.
Why did he have high risk insurance? Had he been in a lot
Probably
of
his
accidents?
age too. He's
When
young.
he was younger, he's 20. He's 25 now.
Okay, but
when he
just
was
answer my
younger,
question. Did he speed a lot? What did he do?
He went through a red light. He went through a stop sign. He
All right.
got one for
All right,
speeding.
all right, fine. Now let me ask you another question. So if you're driving down the road, let's say you're driving down the road and you're going 10 miles over the speed limit. And I'm backing out of my driveway and I'm halfway out of the driveway because I pull out without making sure I had enough distance between me and your car. You think it's my fault? Because
Well,
I
there was
do.
a van
If
parked next
I don't
door.
care. That's so she's on
And
the
he-
road.
Let me tell you though, he's in the middle of the road, halfway out of the road. He
Halfway.
didn't have enough time. He saw her barreling down at him. He puts it in to go forward to get out of her way.
Call
He
her,
didn't even have
call
enough
her.
time
But
to
he
get
didn't
out of
get
her
Caller,
way.
cited.
I feel for you, but they have a right to make that decision, and they made the decision.
It's a business decision on their part that they have sole control of.
Okay.
The police
Okay.
didn't
So
cite him.
it's not worth going to court over.
You
No.
can't.
Well, first of all, they're
Yeah.
paying.
Yeah,
right.
you-
There's nothing you
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah. His insurance will probably go up then, but that's
Well,
just
you
something
don't
have to
know
deal
that
with.
just yet.
Yeah, and
Oh,
he
it's
was,
I mean,
go
I
up.
would
It's-
document it. Say, look, we don't feel he's
It's
at
gonna-
fault. We
I might
asked you not to
skyrocket.
pay. Blah blah
Might
blah.
double. my triple.
And I thought they had to cite someone, but they don't, huh?
No,
No.
no.
All right. Thank you for your
Okay,
call.
thank you.
I mean, you know, and how does she know that the other person was speeding?
At
other than
25, he
that's
should
their
probably be
opinion?
contributing to it anyway. He should probably be paying, at least pitching in for his insurance. And if he was halfway out in the street and got hit, he probably pulled out a little quick as well.
Yeah,
Right.
And I mean, if
Because-
I mean, nobody got cited.
Yeah.
So what do you?
And
gonna
nobody
do?
got hurt.
Yeah,
Those
the
are the two
insurance
most
Those
company's
are the
important
just
things.
most
saying,
important
right.
things. No one
Yeah.
got
As
hurt.
I understand it, though, the woman that was driving the car that was on the road was distracted because some guy was sitting on a curb making a phone call.
Probably
Or
me.
maybe she was
On a
watching,
hill of
or she
fire
was
ants.
watching
On a
David's
hill of
TikToks.
fire ants.
Right. Right. You distracted her. You're on the air with the attorneys. Caller, go ahead.
I think that my question might not make you cringe as much as that last one.
What is it?
Okay.
There's this tree. All right. It's a really, really enormous tree. And it wasn't even on a windy day or anything. It just fell over onto my fence. So it's my neighbor's tree. It fell on my fence, and there's probably there's a lot of tree now on my property, and it's a really big tree. So it's straddling the fence. It was originally his tree, but now half the tree's on my property. Is this my tree, or does he have to get this tree out of here?
So if the tree fell on your property through an act of God, then it's going to be on your insurance company to clean it up, not his.
Gotcha.
You understand? That's why
Even
you
if the
pay
tree's
homeowners
still over
insurance
there.
for
Like
it.
I think that's what was kind of my thinking was, you know, even if branches are hanging over my property, those are my branches now.
Right.
They are.
Yeah, you can
That
cut them
works.
down.
You can cut them down as long as you don't damage the tree.
Treble damages on
Yeah.
trees.
And attorney
But
fees.
I
Yeah.
can't make him take this tree off of my property.
How did it
Have
fall
you
down?
asked him?
He said it just fell.
Yeah,
He said it was.
It just fell. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. It
The-
just fell. Wasn't even
Yeah,
Well,
windy.
the
if it just
neighborly
fell.
thing. The neighborly thing to do if I'm him is get it off your property and say,
Talk
hey,
to him
right,
about
I
it.
mean,
Yeah,
why don't
knock
you
on the
talk to
door.
him?
What are your plans for this tree? Can we
I
work
have.
together?
You know what? The reason, and I feel for the guy. This, if you take, say, a 6-foot guy just like me, and we held hands, we're not going to be able to get our arms around the trunk of this tree. It's big, and they're trying to figure out how can we do it. But it's been over a year that I'm like, it's not
well, listen,
bothering me where
caller.
it is. It's
You-
just
Caller, you only have so
Yeah.
much time to turn that into your homeowners.
Right.
it's not. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
All right.
All
That's
right.
cool.
Thank you.
I
Cool,
would
man.
turn it into my homeowners.
All right.
Let
You're
them
on the
worry
air
about
with
it.
our attorneys. Callers, go ahead.
Hi, my mom has life estate. She just got put into a nursing home,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 3 of us kids. And I would like to buy my brother and sister out. I know she'll have to sign off. Are there inheritance fees, capital gains taxes, and all that?
All right. So let me understand what's going on.
She's
Your
still
mother
alive.
has a life estate, correct?
Yeah, and she's just got put into the nursing home. But
And
yeah,
how long
you wanna buy her
ago did
house.
she? Wait a minute, Ron. How long ago did she transfer her house out of her name and into your name and reserve a life estate for her?
it's under that
The look back.
and others. I think she did that like about in 2014.
Okay.
She's outside of
Yeah.
the
She's
Yeah,
outside
she's
of the
outside the
look
look back.
So whatever that life estate is worth, which isn't much, because you're not going to get someone to buy a life estate. Yeah, I think you're in the clear. No, there's no obligation on you to pay her nursing home bill. That's your question.
No, she's is there?
Oh
any
no, that wasn't
inheritance?
the question.
Is there?
I
is-
No,
wanna
there's
buy
no
her-
inheritance tax in Ohio. Now, if she left you the
Okay.
house and transferred it, you're
Capital
probably going to
gains.
get her basis, but there's a waiver in Ohio or under federal law for the selling of a home, and I forget how much it is, but I talked to an accountant. I think you'll be okay. Meaning, if your mom bought the home for $70,000 and say the home is worth $250,000 today, and you sold the home, there'd be $180,000 of capital gains tax. but there are exceptions for homes. And so you need to talk to your accountant. I think you're going to be okay.
Let me ask you
Okay.
a question. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, one brother and one sister.
And what
We're all-
are you worried about them wanting the house?
No,
Okay,
neither
just
of them want the
okay.
house. I would like it, but my sister wants me to pay all of the fees and not split by the three of us, and she wants me to pay all of the closing costs.
Well,
And-
Wait, hold
that
on a
that big a
second.
deal?
Wait a minute. What closing costs? The home is in your name?
Well, it's in mom's name with and others. So my mom just has to sign off, and then it's for us kids, us three.
Well, then she has to pay equal amount of the closing costs. Or tell her to transfer her share over to you if she doesn't want to pay her equal amount of the closing costs.
Well, let me ask you this, David, on her behalf. Now she says it was in her name and others.
No, I have
but
a feeling
she's in a nursing home, so that isn't a look back period, isn't it, David?
No, the value of the life estate, the nursing home can go after. But what is the value of that? In other words, that woman has a life estate left in that property. That has a certain value to it. But if, the average stay once you hit a skilled care nursing is about 13 months. So what's 13 months of living in a home worth? Because once the mother, God forbid, passes away, it automatically goes to whoever she left the future interest to.
But let me ask the caller, is your mother's name still on the title of the home?
She has a life estate.
Yeah.
It's still
yeah.
on the title of the home, yes or no?
She has a
Right, yeah.
life estate, Ron. You don't understand
life
what a life
estate's on the
estate
deed.
is. A life
Oh, okay.
estate is the mother took her home. She said, I reserve a life estate for
so
myself
she can live there.
so she can live there. And when I die, I give it to Jim Melfi.
Yes.
That's what she did. So that's called a
can't be
future
kicked out.
interest in
Yeah.
a property.
And I have a feeling the mother reserved a life estate and the caller and her siblings own the future interest.
Right.
That's the and others.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So if your sister
I'm
doesn't want to
on-
pay the closing costs or anything, then tell your sister to transfer her interest in the property over to you, and you'll pick up the closing costs. Other than that, she's responsible for part of the closing costs. You all three are,
Okay.
or how many ever
if she doesn't
was
run
left.
in, that doesn't change the analysis to what David's saying.
Yeah.
She has to. I mean, they're giving it to you. Your mom's giving it to you guys. It's transferring to you.
Yeah.
So
You buy out her interest and another siblings, but you guys share the costs equally.
Can
All
she
right.
opt out?
She can transfer
Yeah,
her
but-
share over to the sister.
but I think
If the sister doesn't want to pay anything, you should go to your sister. Say, fine, you don't want to pay anything. You don't want to share in the cost. Then you transfer your interest in this property over to me, and I'll take care of it all.
right. Then when your mom passes, she doesn't have it, or when your
She
mom
doesn't have
left it.
anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck. You're on the air with our attorneys. Hello.
Hi, I have another Pennsylvania elder law question.
What is
Go
it?
right ahead.
When my mom was alive, she set up a inter vivos, I believe it was called inter vivos revocable trust. And in that trust, myself and my two siblings were named as trustees.
You got to help me out.
My brother was the
All right.
successor general trustee, whatever.
What's the question?
She bequeathed me a real estate property, and the wording in the trust is separate share for benefit of my name. Okay.
Wait.
And that is
Hold up.
reflected on the deed to the
Wait,
house.
caller.
We got 30 seconds to answer his question.
I don't understand how he's gotten this property in his name. He's got me all twisted about that. Can you call in next week?
Next Thursday, you call right at 5:05. All right.
Okay, we'll do.
I mean,
Thank you.
because we can't answer your question in that short amount of time. Attorney Beatrice, thank you for your time.
Today, Monday on WFMJ today, we're going to be doing it all.
All right, Attorney Beatrice, thank you. Attorney Melfi, thank you. Attorney DeVecchio, thank you. Attorney Cassis, thank you. We
All
appreciate
right,
it.
Ron.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing you.
All right, the legal show brought to you by Beatrice Kopp on News Radio 570 WKBN. We'll come back and get back to our news lines after this.
sarcoma. Odds are you've never heard that word before. But for the